to start a new segment that is going to be for people who don't want to hear spoilers. It's literally going to be about a minute-long segment. We call it the one-sentence review. All right? We're doing it because I feel like it's not fair to people who haven't seen this shit and they want to hear our thoughts. I don't know who you are, but I'd appreciate it if you did that. I'll start us off since I'm the suggested creator of this segment with The Last of Us Episode 3's one-sentence review for me would be, it's beautiful, but it damn sure ain't for me.
That's fair.
Who would like to go next? How about you, Tristan?
One sentence review for The Last of Us Episode 3. This is my favorite episode yet. That's what I'm gonna leave it at.
For me, I probably are along the same route. I don't know if this or the first episode was better.
All good. So we know everyone's initial thoughts based on that. Yeah, so this is after, I hate doing this, and I feel like I piss off a lot of people or turn them off when they click these videos or listen to the podcast. Talk about, well, this is how it matches up to the game, because I don't feel like only a certain amount of people watch the game or are watching the show at this point. Completely original. I told you guys last week, I saw the preview, I was like, this is completely different than what they did in the game. And the big difference is that Ellie and Joel aren't a factor in this at all. Compared to the games, and it's a completely different story. So for me, even just take the games out of the situation non-factor. As someone watching the series and knowing that there's going to be about 10 episodes in this first season, having an entire episode not characterize anything for Joel or Ellie was kind of frustrating. Because at this point, watching through it, you would be like, why the fuck should we be invested in this little girl and his relationship?
That's
through
fair.
3 episodes.
Yeah.
No one, I don't think anyone's like, oh, I love their dynamic, or I love their relationship so far.
Yeah.
Instead, you spend the entire 3rd episode with a completely different set of characters, and it doesn't, if it does something for you emotionally, it does, and if it doesn't, then it won't. For me, I didn't get emotionally invested in this because I knew that they were going to be dead by the end of the episode.
See, that's fair.
That is fair.
So why I say that I don't know if this or the first episode was better is just because in my mind, I think the storytelling aspect was a lot better than anything we've seen, just particularly in this episode. The enjoyment level, I really liked the first episode, and enjoyment-wise, I like that one a lot more. That being said, this one had me kind of going back and forth. Like, I didn't know that they would end up, dead or together or whatever. So the whole episode, I'm like, Bill's going to kill Frank. Frank's going to kill Bill. And none of those things happen, And so I got to see, my predictions just go wrong every single time. And then, by the end of it, I was pretty emotionally invested in their relationship. And I was like, oh shit, dude, like, this is a really good storytelling in my opinion.
Tristan, thoughts?
I agree. I thought it was very good storytelling. Now, I was slightly more on target with my predictions. I figured out pretty quickly. I was like, oh, they're gonna end up together. Now, I wasn't sure if it was just, some repressed feelings that he had, or if he was just lonely the whole time. I'm not sure it would have made a difference, realistically, but I thought that it brought a lot of just good. It's not even world building at this point. Like it kind of is, but it didn't like you said, it didn't do anything for Joel and Ellie.
Not a crazy amount, yeah.
Whatever with that, but I liked the story. I liked him building up, kind of being, all prepared, and then having another person come into that. And then I liked how they brought Joel in and they built up the little town again. I just liked the way that worked. I liked their story. I liked their dynamic as a couple. It was really cool.
Were you trying? I missed kind of part of what your reading thing was. Were you saying that you didn't know if he was actually gay, like as was before the apocalypse, and if him coming there, which just made him because he was lonely? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like that was the one thing I was trying to still figure out. I wasn't sure if he was just super closeted while being super conservative, or if he was just really lonely and then that kind of meh. But that doesn't seem like the kind of thing that happens when you're just lonely.
Frank figured out a sentence, a question to him that very much seemed kind of coded. for people who are gay. I wouldn't know because I'm not, and I don't really have very many friends who are. I don't have many friends in general, to be honest, so it's kind of hard. But he asked him something like, "Oh, is there a woman?" Like he specifically put like emphasis on that when they were talking in the thing and they're doing piano stuff. And Frank goes, I think he says, or Bill goes, "No, there never has been," or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I think that was Frank's like feeler outer kind of sentence. Like that was to see if they were going around the same places. And they could tell by his interests and the things he liked that he might be gay.
Yeah.
That's what I took from the episode.
No,
like I said, I liked it. It was cool. I found myself being like, in the fuck, I'm doing it.
Yeah,
in the game, Bill doesn't die. Okay, Bill's alive. By the time they leave, he's alive. The only person who's dead in the game is Frank. Frank was dead before he even got there, right? So I did not know Bill was gonna die, but I could tell with what they were doing and the way they're establishing it. I'm like, these characters aren't making it out of this episode, right?
Yeah.
And if they did, this characterization would have made more sense because you spend the episode doing this, and then they come along for the journey to a certain point, and then when they do die, you will feel it a lot harder, right?
Right.
But they didn't do that, so I was just like, I don't really. If you can't, this is more of a movie than a episode of a series.
I agree.
And if you really like this kind of stuff, I would feel like this is going to be perfect for those people. For me, I'm more interested in the characters that we're going to be journeying with, right? What this does, though, for the world is it shows you this shit is still bleak as fuck. And, like, when the Raiders hit Bill's shit and put Frank in a fucking wheelchair, that shit was tough. You know what I mean? And it shows, like, that was a teaser for the next episode, I believe. Because everything they've done has been setting up for the next part every episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
First episode, they were setting up for they gave you the Sarah stuff, set you up for the clickers. Second episode, they said, we get the clickers, and they're setting up, with Tess dying, they're setting up Joel's depression arc. And then this one goes into someone else's depression arc to connect to Joel's depression arc, but they also are teasing the humans now. They're showing what these humans are doing to each other, which will lead into episode 4, where we'll have to deal with the humans. So that was cool to see that there is motherfuckers out there not in QZs running around and fighting each other like it's fucking Minecraft.
Yeah. So I was talking to somebody who has played the games and really likes them. Played the first one, really liked it. Played the second one, dog shit.
Yeah, I feel him.
And he really likes this so far. But he was kind of saying, he's like, I really enjoyed this episode because in the game, and I cannot atone to this, Reek would have to, but he said there's a lot of depressing moments. And he said if you bounced like just back and forth between depressing moments without developing or doing something different, then it wouldn't make much of a show. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that because I don't know anything about it, but how do you feel about that?
So, without getting too into it, the point of the game is to be depressing on purpose, and then the light. It's like, when you're in the dark and like Scrooge from the Three Christmas Ghosts, whatever the fuck that shit's from.
Sure.
You ever seen the scene where he's carrying like the lamp? Like it's like an old thing they had where they have the candle and they carry it around their house.
Yeah.
Right. That's the best way I can describe The Last of Us. Right. We are the person watching the person with the candle. Right. Moving through the darkness. The candle is Joel and Ellie.
Okay.
And they are supposed to be this shining light wading through the darkness of the world that is The Last of Us.
Right.
Okay. So, to me, it is that the world's bleak and fucked. Entirely fucked. No one lives how they used to. Everyone's depressed and sad. When Joel threw the fucking kid in the pile of pit and they killed that kid because he was infected. Shit like that, right? Everyone's beaten down. So the whole point of it is that Ellie is supposed to be the candle because she is the cure, right? They think that she has the possibility to heal everyone. So that's the light, and that's what you're riding through the series, because the rest of the people don't think they're going to fix it. It's going to be like this forever. So they're doing shit like this. So I get it both ways. I think I'm the kind of person who likes to wallow in depression. So I prefer that take where it's like, the one light versus other lights, So this, instead of just the one candlelight walking down a dark hallway, in this situation, it's a dark street, and there's some street lamps here and there.
Okay.
that's what the series is doing versus what the game was doing. The games are very depressing in general, though. The second one especially, I think, is even more depressing than this one. So, if they're gonna do this with the first one, make it more like lighthearted,
yeah,
in a degree, or show you like the beauty as opposed to just the darkness and evil of the world. I'm curious what they'll do with that. But so far, it really just depends what you enjoy more. I'm enjoying the series as is. This is good. This is good TV, period. Right? We've watched plenty of bad TV, so I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying some things may not have been to my taste.
Right.
And I can't say this episode's bad. It's just not to my enjoyments. It's not the things I like in a series.
That's fair.
You know, you built characters instead of the world in this episode.
Yeah.
The characters are gone. So I'd rather you either build the characters we're going to be with or build the overall world, but instead you built 2 characters who are dead now.
I agree with you.
And the piece of world building we got was the Raiders. That was the
yeah. I guess I'm not upset about it because they didn't go anywhere with it, if that makes any sense. So if they went somewhere with that story and it was just like a, if they just brushed over it and pretended like it never happened, then yeah, I get it. But I felt like this was a good break almost. Like it didn't really add anything, but it didn't subtract from the series as a whole. Like I enjoyed the story that they told, so I was okay with it. So either if they, one, just kind of inserted it in and then pretended like it never happened, which they could do, then I'd be like, okay, that was kind of pointless. But at the same time, I really liked the story, so I don't mind that they brought it to my attention, I guess. I get what you're saying. In limited time, I do want to see more from the characters that we're supposed to be invested in for the rest of the season, maybe 2 seasons. And I would like to see that, but I think it's too early for me to, make that call.
If this was a 13 to 15 episode season, I'd be fine with it.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what they said it's going to be, if it's going to be 10 or 12 or what, but if it's 10, you can't take a tenth of your season to do that.
Somebody said 8, bro.
Somebody said 8?
I don't know if that's true. I heard 8.
8 because they do 10 over, because House of Dragons was 10. So I'm going to go with 10.
Yeah.
Hopefully at least 10.
If it's 8, they really shouldn't have done this. If it's 10, it's preferential. You know what I mean? If it's 12, okay, then I'm cool with this. But there's other shit I'd like to see get expanded, and this wasn't one of them. Because in the games, this was something really fast. This was like quick and not this. So I'd rather have them develop these characters or the world than do this and have a throwaway episode, basically. But gotcha. I also understand the people who are watching this series. Because the people who are watching this aren't all game players. And some of the game people like this. But, like I said, this is why I wish that if they did that, they were going to make their first game 2 seasons. If you made the first game 2 seasons, you could do shit like this. I'd be fine with it. But there's 2 other moments that I'd like to see expanded. If we get to those and those aren't expanded, I'm going to be upset about this episode.
I feel like...
I'm fine with it.
I just looked it up. It's going to be 9, by the way.
Oh!
I feel like they almost have to do 2 seasons for the first game at this point then.
They've been playing too much. Don't play with me. They keep saying that the first game's going to be the first season. If it's not, it's 2 seasons for the first game, fine. If it is 1 for the first game, I'm going to be fucking mad. Now, because now I'm hearing it's 9, I will be upset. Especially if you did this. Because now there's shit that I know that's going to get cut short that I wanted longer.
Okay, here's my thing. I would have been much more upset if they hadn't brought Joel and Ellie into the episode at all, but they did at least cap it off with them. And
I love the ending.
The ending was good.
It's fantastic.
It's very good.
The ending, it was worth it. Because that ending was really fucking good. To the point where I was like, that is some G shit.
Yeah.
Right? The letter he wrote to Joel at the end, with the one line, it was perfect. People like me and you were made to protect. And God help any motherfucker that gets in our way. That was fucking hard. That was a bar and a half, right? And then it also goes to show Joel fucked up and didn't keep his end. He's made to protect and he's lost 2 people, right? That's foreshadowing to, I'm going to do every fucking thing in my power to keep this girl safe because that's what Tess told me to. So now you know he's really about to go crazy, whatever the fuck you could, that's for the rest of the season. That I did like, and that was completely original.
Yeah, if they hadn't done that, if they had just ended it with Bill and Frank, that that would have taken the episode down for me.
Yeah, this is very much going to be preferential episode. There's going to be people who like it and people who don't. If this season's only 9 episodes and they did that, there's other shit I'd rather see, but I get it. It's people loved it. People who didn't play the game are loving it, and people who did play the game are like 80-20 loved it, you know? So I get why they did it. I'm not upset, but I think people who haven't played the game are going to be really shocked by how fast it's going to get going now if it's only 9 episodes.
All right.
They're going to be like, what the fuck? Dude, this is short. It's not about to, I hope they know, it's not about to be The Walking Dead. It is not. It's not going to be 14 drawn out seasons. This is going to be
I don't need that. I don't want that. It's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be quick at this point, so I'm interested where the rest of this goes. We'll see. There's, like I said, they've been making changes. After episode 1, they've been changing shit a lot. I've noticed. And I think they did that on purpose because they're like, okay, we'll put the first episode, because the intro is the strongest part of the game. So like, we'll keep that the same. People who play the game will see it like that, and they'll be like, oh, this is exactly like the series. I'm going to watch it now. And then people who aren't will get invested off the strength of that first episode. And then we'll start adjusting things to fit TV better. Right. Or how we see fit. So, I'm down. The series is good. I don't really give a fuck what they do with it. Because guess what? If the series isn't good, I can still go play the fucking games. You know what I mean? I can still go play the first game. Like, and then if I watch this and we finish the first season, I'm like, and it covers the first game, I'm go, you guys should go play the game because I think the game did it better. Or a game did it worse, whatever. So then it'll be like that, you know? That's why I said I'm never one to get upset about adaptations of shit because I can always have my original. So I'm down with it. I'm interested to see what they'll change and what they want at this point.
I'm enjoying it.
They better add more Tommy. I'm gonna punch him on the head. That's the big thing I want. I want more Tommy. So, any final thoughts on this? Are we good?
Nah, I'm enjoying it. We'll see.
I'm also enjoying it. I'm quite content with what they're doing so far. Having no experience with the series at all.
True, completely virgin.